The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus departed to the mountain to pray, and he spent the night in prayer to God. When day came, he called his disciples to himself, and from them he chose 12, whom he also named apostles: Simon, whom he named Peter, and his brother Andrew; James, John, Philip, Bartholomew; Matthew, Thomas, James, the son of Alphaeus; Simon, who was called the Zealot, and Judas, the son of James; and Judas Iscariot, who became a traitor. And he came down with them and stood on a stretch of level ground. A great crowd of his disciples and a large number of the people from all Judea and Jerusalem and the coastal region of Tyre and Sidon came to hear him and to be healed of their diseases. And even those who were tormented by unclean spirits were cured. Everyone in the crowd sought to touch him, because power came forth from him and healed them all. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise be Jesus and Mary. Dear brethren, in the last line of today's Gospel, St. Luke says, everyone in the crowd sought to touch him because power came forth from him and healed them all. What's the secret of this power? Well, we heard about that in the first reading when St. Paul says, "For in him dwells the whole fullness of the deity bodily, in bodily form." So what's the secret of this power? Well, Jesus is God incarnate. The fullness of the deity, the fullness of the divinity is in him. He is the second person of the Holy Trinity. And so he's acting not just as man, but as God. And so the miracles he performed were to confirm people in the faith of in his divine identity, to reveal his divinity to them. You can't heal a man born blind if you yourself are just a man. That requires divine power. And so our Lord, with all these miracles, actually gave a display, signs, so that we could realize and understand and see his divinity. The amazing thing is that that same Jesus, from whom everyone felt so much power come forth, we receive in the Holy Eucharist. So that same Jesus, in whom dwells the fullness of the deity, of the divinity, comes into each one of us. And we need to ponder on that, because so often we receive Holy Communion maybe with just so little fruit. And that's not because there's something lacking in Holy Communion. As we heard here, there's the fullness of the deity. Power goes forth from him. It's only because we're lacking in the correct and necessary dispositions. We're not attentive, we're distracted, we're not thinking about what we're doing. There's little faith in the fact that we are receiving him in whom resides the fullness of the deity. And so we need to be more attentive to this. We knew every time we're in line to receive communion, begin multiplying acts of faith. Lord, I believe that you are present. I know that I'm unworthy to receive you. We should always call our Blessed Mother, Mother, accompany me to receive our Lord. Come into me in a certain sense and receive him on my behalf. I wish to receive him with your humility, with your faith, with your gratitude, with your love, so that his power may truly operate in me. We celebrate today St. Peter Claver, the great saint who dedicated his life to serve the slaves who were brought over during the period of slave trade from Africa. Many of them, as you know, arrived on the shores of South America completely worn out, almost dead. And so, he dedicated his life, very efficacious in his ministry, above all because of the example of charity. So as soon as those slaves arrived, he would dedicate himself, maybe even unable to speak their language, but they understood the language of charity. So here they arrived, they thought that they were going to be just subject to more torments, and here they find this man who is just dedicating himself entirely to them, to help them regain their health, to clothe them, give them the necessary food. And they just felt so welcome and just saw the light of his charity. And so they opened themselves to the truth of the gospel. Let us praise our Lord for these examples of charity, but also learn from them the importance of giving witness to charity in the way we act. How many people who are outside of the faith are not convinced of the truth of Christianity because we give bad example. Whereas good example, in other words, acting, speaking, behaving always as is conformed to charity, that's what the light is. We, by that way, are a light that gives testimony to the truth of what we're living and of God's presence in us. So let us ask this grace from St. Peter Claver and from our Blessed Mother, Mother of Divine Love. Praise be Jesus and Mary.